Is this okay? Good evening. I will listen, direct my path. I have vision for what's at hand. I am quiet, I can hear so clearly. Oh, sweet Spirit, my life is blessed. I set my eye on the glory. I set my heart on the love. My life is filled with your presence. I move into your heavenly bliss. I awaken to the future. I send blessings to the past. I am now filled with reassurance. Oh, sweet Spirit, my life is blessed. I set my eye on the glory. I set my heart on the love. My life is filled with your presence. I move into your heavenly bliss. I set my eye on the glory. I set my heart on the love. My life is filled with your presence. I move into your heavenly bliss. I awaken to the future. I send blessings to the past. I am now filled with reassurance. Oh, sweet Spirit, my life is blessed.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, sweet Spirit, my life is blessed. Whether or not you've been saying that today, all during the day, I'd invite you to say that right now. Oh, sweet Spirit, my life is blessed. We are so blessed to be in this space. I think of the last couple years and our attempts to do these and just how many changes and how many shifts, and just so grateful to be in this space. We welcome all of you this evening. Not quite New Year's Eve, but we're acting as if. So we're allowing it to be that time in our lives. And for those of you who are joining us at home, we welcome all of you as we gather. And my intention this evening is to really create a sacred space, a safe space for us to be present in, to look at our lives, and then to say, Spirit, what would you have me know? What would you have me let go? What would you have me take on? What are these larger ideas that are here for me? So I just invite you to join me. This is our working service. In fact, who was it? Jeff just said, I haven't done this much paperwork since my taxes. So, this is a working service. It's the one service we do where we're really looking at our lives. And so we'll stay in that little bubble and then we'll move on out. And I just want to start by opening in prayer. If anybody's had a busy week, or maybe it didn't go exactly as you'd desire, it wasn't the same as it has been, things have changed, life has moved, I just invite you to move into your heart space, to open to a deeper understanding, to that breath of Spirit that moves through us, and to simply say, here we are, a part of humanity, awakening, opening, ready, willing, and present. Let's begin this service in prayer. And as we take that sacred breath, we say, Mother, Father, God, infinite Spirit, we open to the divine understanding that we are all a part of the larger body of humanity, walking each other home, opening our hearts, finding and understanding ways of shifting, of change, of understanding change, and of opening to the highest and best happening in our lives, in the lives of those around us, in our country, in all of the countries on this globe. We find a larger understanding for the order of love that is designed to be appearing in and through and as us now. For this opportunity to gather and to know this truth, we say yes, yes, yes. And so it is. Amen. And it's wonderful to have you all with us. I wanted to share a little bit about this service because it's a night of remembering, and I had a couple of people say, all I've heard about is we're burning a bowl. And I said, well, there's a little more to it than that. So I want to explain part of the idea. We're here to gather in sacred ceremony. And gathering together, by the way, is so important because whether you're online and part of this, we know that consciousness is that part of the energy field that we live and we move and we have our being in. It's a part of where we are already. And yet many times we don't consciously join together and say, oh, this is me. I belong in this essence, in this field, this energy field. And so we're creating this sacred space, and to remember that Spirit has a divine plan for our lives. And I just want to say, I've never said this at a burning bowl. And by the way, I was 14, I believe it was, when my mother said, these are required, or it was pretty much, you just went. That was part of the journey. So I've been to decades of them and loved them and benefit from them. But for right now, I just want to say, just congratulate yourself. You made it through this year. You made it to this point, and that's not a joke. We made it to this place. This year, somebody just said that it was the year of the pandemic, not pandemic type thing. We made it to this time. And so as we look and say, Spirit, what would you have me release and what would you have me take on? Remember, we're right where we need to be, and we're breathing. We're in our seats. We've made it here. We're all relatively dressed, whatever we chose. But we got to this place. And so sometimes I think that's very, very important. Rene Lazuli said, inside the chaos, we all have the opportunity to build a temple of love. And I believe sometimes that's what we're doing. We're in so many different places and so many different ways. And who was it? Rumi said that, yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world, and today I'm wise, so I'm changing myself. interesting. But with this service, it really, you got a packet when you came in, and I'm going to explain this, and then we'll go on and we'll do the service. But to start out with, did everybody get a packet? Let me ask that. Anybody not have one or need one? And hopefully you have a pen that's in the aisles in front of you. So, and also you do probably need one of the boards to bear down on. I'm so grateful for Steve for making all those boards, because we used to use our songbooks and finally realized that we were ready to let the songbooks go. And so this is what we replaced. But we're going to start out with a time of introspection, of getting quiet, of doing some journaling. There's one paper here, there's one page of the white paper. That'll be for your journaling. And if you need more, there's some up here. Beth's got some in the back. Just raise your hand and we'll get you more paper. But we're going to be looking at our year. The second part is that we will actually write down what we're ready to get rid of. And the first part of the journaling is just to get us into the reflective, looking at what's really happening. Because if we stay up here, it can be like, okay, this just happened this year. I got through it. I'm here. But we really want to go deeper and find out what the journey is for us. So, and then we'll be burning those. The ushers will release you from the back, and we'll burn these and let them go. And that really is a sacred ceremony. So I'd invite you just to stay within yourself. You'll hear some music, you can sing along, but it's just the opportunity to focus on that letting go. And then we'll move into the idea of what are some of the sacred intentions we'd like to hold in our lives. We actually, there's an envelope, and whenever you have free time, you can write down your name and address, and we'll send it back to you. Anybody in here get theirs back? All right, so we had some of us, and it's fascinating to do it and look at it and say, wow, this happened. This one it just left. And so holding it again and beginning to say, what do I do with this? I know that it takes time for us to shift and move into different pieces and places. Okay, so let's move on from there. What we're really doing here is listening. We're really listening. We're looking at our lives, where we've been, where we are to go, what we're called to do, and it's such a blessing to be together to do that. I'm going to share with you just a couple things that are happening. I hope you all are able to join us downstairs after this service. We're having just a small, it's not till midnight, it's a short New Year's celebration, and it's a lot of fun to talk with people, to just say, to celebrate who we are and the fact that we've come this far this year. I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity. So thank you to the people who came, and Gary and Dawn and who I know others did, and helped decorate and brought different things to eat. I'm so grateful. Our Sunday service will be at 11 this coming Sunday on New Year's Day, and we have a treasure mapping workshop after the service, so if you'd like to be a part of that, we'd love to have you do that. The following Sunday is our white stone ceremony, where you'll actually get a stone from the Holy Land, if you'd like to be a part of that, and it is a meditative process of saying, Spirit, how am I named? And it's a wonderful opportunity to do that. Afterwards, we'll be undecorating all the church, if you'd like to join in that. And I will be doing a 2-hour workshop, 12:30 to 2:30, on new thoughts for a new year. It's for those of you who are interested in the Unity teachings, the ideas. If you're interested in membership, it's one of the places that you can move into that path. It's also a great reminder if by any chance this year some of those ideas flew out and we weren't able to hold them and live them. It's a great reminder. We have 4 new classes starting. They're all out in the entryway on the table. There's different ones. I will be doing creative stress, and this is creating positive, powerful lives from times of chaos or stress. And I have a feeling a few of us have had this and lived this. Reverend Dick will be a Zoom class, only mine will be hybrid. It'll be Zoom and it'll be in person. Reverend Dick's class will be on the book Living Untethered by Michael Singer, which is a great book of looking within. And Alan Watson will be doing on Thursday nights Uncovering the Original Teachings of Jesus. It's a class looking at these spiritual teachings and what are they actually, because boy, there are a lot of us have learned some really interesting things. There's also another 1-year class. It meets once a month on the last Saturday of the month, and it is called A Year to Live, and it's a wonderful opportunity with Lynn and Suzanne. It's the book says, these are the steps you take, this is what you do, what would you like to look at? And it's a great opportunity also. So I wanted to share with you all those things that are happening. And I wanted to welcome any of you, if you're here for the first time, we want you to know that we honor you where you are in your spiritual path. I believe it's so important for us right now to just anchor who we are and the beliefs we have that will support us to move through this. Do we have anybody here for the first time? Our ushers have a guest packet for you. Anybody here for the first time? Wonderful. Well, we will... we have a few people. Leslie, do you know where the newcomer packets are? I know they're somewhere here, so I'm just going to ask Leslie and Beth. We have someone over there. We're happy to have you with us. Anybody else just, yeah, there we go. And we'll stand there and get it done. Those packets have information about Unity. Unity is a spiritual movement where we look at our lives, our journeys, and know that we're created from this infinite field and that we are whole and complete just as we are. If this community works for you, I'd encourage you to become a part. I believe right now, all of us, it is important to gather, to reconnect, to remember what's important, and to be able to stand in these ideas that are stronger, that are inclusive, that are larger than we may have grown up with. I think it's so important. If it does not work for you, I would encourage you to continue seeking, to find a place that will support you and that will open your heart and remind you of the good and the life and the love that you are. All right, now we're moving in. We'll get this. Okay.
Lay it down, set it free, let my heart rest and let it be. Lay it down, set it free, lay it down on the altar of love. I was walking through the season of dark and lonely change, where the world was on my shoulders and my faith was rearranged. I knew I'd never be given more than I could bear. Spirit reassured me there's an answer to my prayer. If I lay it down, set it free, let my heart rest and let it be. Lay it down, set it free, lay it down on the altar of love. Love is all there is. Love is all there is. Love will lead the way. Love will lead. Love is all there is. Love is all there is. Love will lead the way. Lay it down, set it free, let my heart rest and let it be. Lay it down, set it free, lay it down on the altar of love. Lay it down on the altar of love. Lay it down on the altar of love.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Thanks.
you. Oh. And so tonight, I have to tell you, this is one of my favorite services that we do, because we get to look at ourselves and our lives, and we get to start saying, wow, What's mine to know and to do and to shift? And it's such a powerful time, this week after Christmas. Anybody had that in-between week where you're kind of like, wow, wait a minute, what's happening here? I know it was a different Christmas, at least for us here, not having the Christmas Eve service and some of the things that it was like, wait a minute, what happened? But, as we gather tonight and we start looking at how has this year been, and that's what we're going to move into, I believe that it's a sacred time that sometimes if we just open our hearts and we just look at our lives and ourselves and who we are, we can find that there's things that we are ready to let go of, that we may not have realized. We may have held on to things. We're all working to evolve out of generations of ideas and thoughts and family patterns and individual patterns and collective patterns. And in this movement, it can be difficult, and we can fight with all of our being to say, just don't make me change. Just it's okay if other things happen out there, but just don't make me change. And so tonight's one of those times where we just kind of breathe. We say, I was created in a field of love. This creative essence loves me, desires good for me, lives as me, and my opportunity is to open to it, which means we can start letting things fall away. So I just invite you tonight to, as I said, just to listen. Spirit has a divine plan for us, for our lives, for who we are, and where we are to go on this planet. And what amazes me is it's different than mine. It is different than what I think I should be doing and what should be happening. And so if I'll open to it, something so much larger will show up. Spiritually, over and over again, we are being asked to let go, to actually let go of thoughts and ideas and so many things. And so I just believe that when we come together in this time, we prepare for 2023. We prepare for the coming of a new year by looking at what we're ready to let go of. Myrtle Fillmore in the late 1890s said, Unity's mission in our world is to help people release fears and hurts that bind and confine us so that we may experience and express the love that we are. Now, I know there's a few of us who have some fears and some hurts left over from this year, last year, our childhood, life. We've allowed those to come into that place. And so the next step we're going to do is a meditative process. And I'm going to invite you to put other things aside and just take the board that you're writing on and that white paper, and hopefully you have a pen. And we're going to do some journaling. Now, we're not going to burn this. I've had people take it home and tear it up and throw it away. I actually usually take mine home and put them. I do it earlier. I did this service yesterday myself and did part of it, and I'll do more tonight. But I actually put it in one of the sacred books that I have, whether it's the Quran or the Bible or whatever is the first that I find, knowing that I just put it in a consciousness of something larger. So we are going to start, and the music's going to begin in just a moment, and I just invite you to flow with it, to quiet your mind, relax your body, and to just move into a time of introspection, of just looking and listening, and to stay within yourself, with your thoughts, your beliefs. We don't have enough time in quiet. And so I just invite you, as you've put aside other papers and you have something on your lap, it's just ready to write, to just breathe. This is coming up to New Year's Eve 2022. So much has happened. Such a journey it's been. And we just take a moment to slow down, to breathe, and to relax. Relaxing our bodies, our eyes, knowing that this chair holds us, we're safe. And just opening ourselves. And we can keep that paper handy to write down whatever we're led to write down. And if you can't think of anything to write, it's okay. Just keep in the silence. just turn within and focus on your breathing. Your breath has the ability to center you. And so let's take a few breaths now and feel your body. Feel yourself sitting in the chair. And feel all the tension flowing from your body. Let's relax and continue inward. I am. I am that I am. We just focus in that center. And we allow ourselves to think about the movement of our lives. 2022. The movement of our lives. Our life as it has been taking shape and form. We know that this now moment is much more than a moment. It's an elastic unit of time. It's here. And it includes all of the meaningful events of the past. And it moves into our present. And we simply allow ourselves to rest in this time. Moving inward. Continuing to relax, to know we're safe. We have all we need right now. And we ask the question, what are some of the things that's taken up most of our thought space in this past year? What's filled my mind? What are the main characteristics of this time? And I just invite you, as you think of the ideas or perceptions, to write them down, not getting caught up in them, just making notes of the main characteristics, the things that held our thoughts. To write freely. If tears come up, bless them, appreciate them. There's Kleenex in the seats in front of you, and just an opportunity to look at this movement of 2022 and what has taken up the thoughts and our space in our minds. And from that place of looking at the ideas, the perceptions, what filled our world, let's move into the silence again. Continue writing if you need to, but just closing our eyes again if you haven't already done so, breathing deeply. And once again, feel the movement of our lives. 2021, 2022. We just bring ourselves into harmony with the continuity of our lived experience, with the sacred journey that we walk each day. And we feel the quality of our lives. No specific thoughts. We don't direct our thoughts. But we just simply relax and say, what were the qualities of my day? What were the qualities of this time? And from that place, we ask ourselves the question, what were the special events? Were there major happenings? They may have been of a positive nature, or perhaps they were tough ones. But what were the main events of this time period? We may have felt closeness, love, caring, or we may have felt anger and pain and loss. And we just take time to write down how we felt and these major events as we simply write in the silence. Have we felt upset or frustrated or alone or any of those feelings? Just simply writing down and taking note of the big changes and big happenings. And if you're done taking time to just get quiet and going back into that space and allowing ourselves to feel the inward movement of our lives again. 2021 moved into 2022, and we've journeyed 12 months during this year. And we just simply breathe in, listening to the infinite movement, this journey of life. And we let ourselves recall the relationships with people in our lives that have been important for any reason. They may have been satisfying, love-filled relationships, or they may have been frustrating. It doesn't matter. What is important is that they were meaningful to you. And let's just take time to write about the important relationships during this past year in your life. And now, going within again, allowing yourself to feel that inward stillness, the movement of life. And one last time, we're going to make a list of adjectives as we've looked at this year, describing our feelings, our time, just looking at this journey. Is there anything else that's important to write down? What's felt, heart's desires, ideas of this movement of life. And once more, just saying, is there anything else I need to put down, to write out from 2022? We've done an introspection, a small introspection from this past year. And we're going to stay in this meditative state, in this inward thinking state, and begin to ask ourselves, what is ours to release now? I'd invite you to get the tracing paper out. Because there comes a time when we're ready for freedom, when we realize there's been patterns or ideas or things in our lives that you didn't come to live with or within. And our stories may constrict us or close us down. And so just beginning to say, what am I willing to let go of? I don't want to take it into this new year. And to write down what you're ready to let go of. Old beliefs, thoughts, worries, grudges. A difficulty with a person, an organization, or an idea. You might look through your other paper and just say, is there more I'm ready to let go of? What's mine to release at this time? Is there something you're willing to forgive, to let go? In just a minute, we're going to be coming down the aisles. There's 2 places to burn these papers. And what you'll be doing is just putting it here in the candle and allowing it to go right into the bowl. And we'll come up the middle and we'll go outside and we'll go back the outside rows. If you're not done writing, it's okay. You can come up in just a moment. But it's just an opportunity to allow it to burn, to realize that in spirit we have the opportunity at any moment to let go fully and to release it. And so as you're in line, I just invite you, you're welcome to sing. In a moment we'll start a song, but also to just keep letting it go, letting it go, letting it go, and then just moving back in to your seats when we're ready. So we're ready, Beth. We're ready.
as I'm letting go. I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go, I'm letting go. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. Checking in to see if where I'm going is the way in which the inner light is guiding. Oh, guiding me to feel these connections every day. Then every day I'm being led by truth. And when I feel the obstacles of doubt and fear in me, I'll lift my heart and breathe in more of you. I'm coming after you, my joy, chasing after you, my love. Walking till I see the sun shine in these eyes. I'm coming after you, my joy, chasing after you, my love. Walking till I see the sun shine in these eyes. Moving through this mystery, it all can feel surreal. Surreal until I take the time to listen. I'm listening to the one and making choices every day. And every day I'm being pulled by truth. And when I feel the obstacles of doubt and fear in me, I'll lift my heart and breathe in more of you. I'm coming after you, my joy, chasing after you, my love. Walking till I see the sun shine in these eyes. I'm coming after you, my joy, chasing after you, my love. Walking till I see the sun shine in these eyes. I'm coming after you, joy, chasing after you, my love. Walking till I see the sun shine in these eyes. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Thank you, thank you. We are so blessed. Oh, okay, we did it. We got through that part of this, those two parts of both introspection and writing down and looking at what we're ready to release. It's such an important part. And I would encourage you to just continue in this next few days. You'll have things come up and you might be like, I want to write it down. I want to write it down. And by the way, if you're at home, you can do it also. We've had a lot of people just tearing their paper. The last couple of years, they said, I wasn't ready to burn it, so I just tore it. And I just put it into little pieces. But to just allow it to keep coming up and looking at where it is. And yet, we're going to move into the idea of creation right now. Because all of us know that on one level or another, we're always creating our lives. We've said yes to these bodies, to this life journey that we're on. And we also, every day, get to choose how we live, who we are, what we're doing, and how long we allow these patterns to live in us. And so I want to talk just a little bit about the creation before we set our intentions, because this idea of creating sacred spaces, sometimes we just don't realize we have that ability. What we know with quantum physics is there is one field. We're a part of it. It's moving through us all the time. We have access to that intelligence, to that wisdom, to that substance, and our ability to hold spaces. And literally, we're creating them in our minds, in our lives. We're holding them all the time. Sometimes, though, we've just been taught to hold fear and anger or frustration or what's wrong. And so shifting into what am I creating? Miles Davis said, I'm always thinking about creating. My future starts when I wake up in the morning and see the light. I'm always thinking about creating. So often we wake up and think this day is the same as the one before and the one before because I'm the same. We're actually not unless we think the same thoughts and take the same actions and allow those same ideas to move through us. But we have the ability to shift that. And what I think is fascinating is that when we feel like we're in the dark, often we're staying within the known. The ego wants to stay with what's safe and known. Anybody got some patterns that we just said, I'm ready to get rid of? The ego says, I want that because that's safe. And so a lot of what we have to do is be willing to give up safety to begin creating. And to realize that life will create through us. Life responds to us as we respond to it. And the growth principle of life that we need to remember is that spiritual growth often happens in the darkest times in our lives. We think, why am I here? Look at what's happening. Look at where it is. That's where spirit moves. It's still in the dark. But that's actually where these awakenings happen. That's where some of these beginnings happen. That's where we see so much. And that's the part that I believe we're here to open our hearts to a bigger picture of what Spirit would have us know and do and be and live. We're perfect just as we are. And we have the opportunity to know ourselves differently. What would happen if every one of us in this room and watching online simply stopped putting ourselves down for 2023? Do you think any lives would be different? It's hard to change, but it's really hard to stay the same. I've heard people lately saying, choose your hard. It takes energy to shift ideas and to move. And so, Rumi said, that which you seek is seeking you. The universe has evolutionary impulses that move through it at all times. Often we say that, I don't like what's going on. It feels uncomfortable. This isn't where I want to be. We don't know what's happening. It's different. That's the evolutionary impulse. It's still under there, moving to create and moving to the desire is to push forth through us. But we have to allow that and to let it be. One of my favorite stories ever is about the Chinese bamboo tree. And I use it a lot. You've heard me use it. I just invite you to think again because this takes time. What we're holding, when we say, I have an intention I want to hold, what we're talking about is an energy. And we begin holding it in our mind and our thoughts. It will move into your feelings, but you have to start and you have to create these sacred spaces. But we do it over time. Now, the Chinese bamboo tree, it's a parable that, and it's a reality also, but it teaches us ideas on patience, faith, perseverance, but this is what it is. Like any plant, growth of the Chinese bamboo tree requires nurturing, and it's one type of bamboo. It's not the ones that that were planted at my house, but it requires nurturing, water, soil, sunshine, and in its first year, there are no signs of activity. It's planted and nothing grows. The second year, there's no growth above the soil. Nothing changes. The third year, the fourth, still nothing. And then in the fifth year, that tree grows 80 feet in about 6 weeks. That's how spiritual growth is, just in case you're wondering. We plant it under there and we want to see change, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a week. I'll give it a week. And suddenly we find out it's a year, and it's like these patterns. I want them to move. I want this idea. I want this anger. I want this to move. But instead, it's under there. And what it's actually doing is just what this tree is doing. It is building a foundation, a root system that literally continues to expand all of that time. There's always movement happening. There's growth happening. We can't see it with our eyes. So I just want you to remember, as we go through these spiritual journeys in our lives, sometimes we forget this. And it said, if the tree hadn't developed such a strong, unforeseen foundation, it could not have sustained its life as it grew. And that's so true for us. We have that same idea. And how many of us want to dig it up and say, well, that didn't grow. We'll try something else. And so I'm just reminding you, as we just move into, we'll be writing intentions in just a moment, but as we move into a time of beginning to ask ourselves, Spirit, what would you have me express this year? What would you have me know? A lot of times we have them in our minds, but instead we have that opportunity to begin saying, how would the infinite essence of the universe see me this year? What am I to know? What am I to take on? What are these ideas that are being called to flow through me? One of the ways that I've had people say, what's the difference between an intention and a goal? And my belief is, we can get really goals. I have used goal setting my whole life. I believe it's so powerful. But I shifted to this idea of intention when I held a sacred space in prayer and begin to feel like there's a sacred essence, and my job is to to just keep putting mind energy, heart energy, feeling energy into the idea of an intention. One of the places that I think I would call an intention is the very idea of Kwanzaa. Some of you are familiar with it, and I actually had a whole Kwanzaa. My one that I have at home, I was bringing tonight and left at home. You'll see it Sunday. But some of you have heard things about it. The professor from UC Long Beach who created it, Maulana Karenga, Maulana, I'll do better with that word, with his name, Maulana Karenga, Dr. Maulana Karenga, he created this in 1966. But his intention, he said, I want us to shift from just responding to what happens in life. And I want Black people to have an ability to hold an idea, to think of ideas, and to create them. Instead of responding or reacting, they are creating. And so this intention to spend 7 days each year, and it's gone from a couple 100,000 people working with it. They did it in LA for many years. It's millions and millions across this country and throughout the world. And that's happened as they look at the principles. And the principles, I just love this idea. The first one was unity, umoja. And then and this one is always interesting, Kujichagulia, which is self-determination. The ability to say, I define myself, I name myself, I create for myself, and I speak for myself. Those ideas, so the first day is just simply creating community, creating oneness, remembering who we are, whether it's from another continent or here. Then the principle for today is purpose, to work collectively to build communities that will restore the greatness of African people, to look at these ideas. But he set that out, and it has moved across the globe. And I remember the first time someone asked me if I knew about it, and I was becoming a Unity minister, and I had no idea that it even existed. And I said, how can this be? And a couple years later, I looked, and half of my community was celebrating it. So it's holding a space for something larger and allowing spirit and the universe to fill it. Nature abhors a vacuum. So what would we like to hold? And I just invite you, we've just let go of all of these ideas. There's space to say, who am I? How would I like to know myself? Are there things that I'd like to know about myself? To know that I'm safe, that I'm good, that there's a universe providing for me, that I have all that I need, and I am brilliant. Can we start with that one? I'm this essence, I'm a channel. And so I just invite you to begin looking at what would I like to hold this year. We have a whole new year ahead of us. I realize where we've been. The past does not determine the future unless we allow it to. Our past is there. Every breath is an opportunity to say, wait a minute. I remember I'm a creation of spirit. I'm a creation of life. I'm a creation of love. And so I just invite you to take some time to write out intentions. What would you like to hold in this coming year? And you can just do that when you're done. You can fold them in thirds and put them in your envelope, and we will mail them back. We will pray with them. They will stay up in my office for the year. I get up, and at least monthly I pray with them and hold that space with you. But I would just invite you to dare to dream. We are humanity learning to walk together. How would we like to be a part of that essence, of that idea? And so just holding that space. Michael Beckwith said, when we hold a vision, we become more aware that we truly are spiritual beings made in the likeness of God and not separate from God, and that all the divine ideas that God has are within us already. We learn consciously to shift our perceptions and lift our vibrations so these ideas can express through us. And so the opportunity is to express, allow it to express through us. I'd invite you to use I am statements as much as you can, putting it in the present tense. And if you haven't yet, you can address the envelope. Keep writing, keep doing your intentions. Wait. What left is a 3x5 card, and I just invite you to write your strengths on it. You're going to take this home with you. What are some of the strengths that you have? We may not be used to doing this, but just, I am. I am strong. And if you're done with your letters, you can pass them to the aisles and we'll pick them up. If you're not, keep writing and you'll get a chance to finish it. And for those of you at home, if you'd like to bring your letters in, you are welcome to. We will pray with them and hold them in that light. You can send them in if you want. You can bring them over. One of the things I know about every one of us in this room, since we're sitting here, is that we're strong. We may not have believed that we were, but we have moved through the last few years, and that alone requires strength and beginning to identify what are the qualities that I bring with me. I am thoughtful. I am understanding. I am willing is one of the strengths, to be willing to learn, to be willing simply to be. All right, has everybody turned their envelopes in? Anybody still working on them? We got a few over here. Tell you what, Jeff's going to collect them. Giving you a hard time, Jeff. And I want you all to just congratulate yourselves. We've done a lot of work tonight. Congratulations. You've moved through this. We've looked at it. We have a year ahead of us that is an open slate and our opportunity to hold that space. And I have found that if I will hold a slate, hold an idea for adventure, it's a lot better than perfection. And so I would encourage you to look at the ideas of what we're holding for ourselves in this next year. In just a moment, we're going to receive our tithes and our love offerings, and I'm so grateful to those who have said yes to ushering and doing some of the pieces, and they've created a wonderful experience downstairs. But just take a moment to look around the room. We're all travelers on this journey. And in a few minutes, we'll gather together and sing and just hold this space. But I'm just so grateful for all of you for being a part of it, because some of what happens when we gather in a consciousness is that we find we're more filled. We find that we're more connected because we're willing to take a journey together. So we're going to receive our tithes and our love offerings and have this opportunity simply to say thank you, Infinite Spirit, for the ability to hold this consciousness and who we are and how we are and allow it to move through us. And Dixie and Elise, I'm so grateful for you both for being here and greeting us and holding that space for us. And so I'm just going to say our blessing, and I'd invite you to say it with me. There's a card in the back of your seat if you're in the building that will show you some of the places and how you can give. And also, if you're at home, there is a screen that you can see it on this screen right here. So we're just going to hold that blessing. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And we are so blessed, and so it is.
Another year is dawning, oh Spirit, let it be. Another year of service, of faithfulness and grace. Another year of learning, another year of praise. Another year of trusting, of quiet, happy rest. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of all lang syne? And here's a hand, my trusty friend, and give a hand of thine. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for all lang syne. Another year is dawning, oh Spirit, let it be. Another year of service, of faithfulness and grace. Another year of learning, another year of praise. Another year of trusting, of quiet, happy rest. For all lang syne, my dear, for all lang syne.
Yes. Thank you, Susan and Mark, for being here. They are such a blessing. Susan had never been to one of these, and so thank you for moving through it with us so beautifully. And I just want you to know we're inviting you downstairs really to celebrate this journey we've been on and this year. Because we did make it through, not just through this, but we came out saying, what's the bigger picture? What's more for me? What is it am I to understand? And so we're just going to close in prayer. And we've got sparkling cider downstairs and all kinds of exciting things. And I just say Happy New Year to each of you as we celebrate this journey. And we know that for every one of us, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is, and our kids love to stamp it in for certainty. Have a love-filled evening. I'm looking forward to celebrating with you downstairs. Thank you, thank you.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of all lang syne? And here's a hand, my trusty friend, and give a hand of thine. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for all lang syne. For all lang syne, my dear, for all lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for days of all lang syne.
And I just invite you to take the